What an incredible day here in Austin. We hit the ground running and didn't stop moving until about a half an hour ago. Started this morning with a great interview with Brian and Andy over at KGSR, the AAA radio station here in Austin. We had a great conversation on the air, had a great conversation off the air, and they even played my favorite Stevie Ray Vaughan song, Life by the Drop. And that made me happy. From there, Chip and Aaron, who are the husband and wife team who make up Danger Bird Austin, drove me over to the NBC affiliate here, KXAN. And after a short wait in the lobby, we went into the TV studio where the noon news broadcast was happening, and I sat behind the anchor desk and talked about Pablove, talked about Pablove Across America. For me, nothing could be easier. I wore my Pablove t-shirt, and even when my microphone went out midway through the interview, we called an audible on set. The one of the newscasters ran over and put his mic on me. It was just enough zany stuff for me to realize that the spirit of Pablo was with us. And most important thing is that I do believe that we communicated with a lot of people today, and we got the message of the Pablo Foundation and enough of Pablo's story out onto those airwaves for people to perhaps jump onto our path with us. We ended up going back there. We had such a good time. They asked us to come back and film a segment on the bikes. So Rick and I, Brian from SRAM and his friend Chris, and a couple other fellows, Greg Geisler, who's one of the Lance Armstrong auction winners. He'll be riding with Lance and us tomorrow. He's a good friend of ours. And our friend Cody, who rode here from Santa Monica. We all went over to the station and shot a second piece, with Rick and I being interviewed in our Pablove cycling kits with our Pablove bikes. We were interviewed about Pablove Across America. So that's going to be on the 10 o'clock news, which I won't see live because I'll be sleeping. We'll post it here in the next couple days, as soon as it becomes available. In the late afternoon, before all that bike business, we went over and saw our friend Shiv at Waxy, the world's biggest internet radio station, the most listened to internet radio station. They've recently moved to Austin from Cincinnati. They've been longtime friends of Danger Bird. Even before we started Danger Bird, they played all the bands that I managed, and they're a great organization. And Bad Veins were guest DJing before I showed up, and we did a little bit of a Pablove takeover on the station. We played some Dennis R. Jr., some U2 for Joanne, Elliott Smith, the Smiths, the Dead Boys. It was really that song Sonic Reducer by the Dead Boys just does it for me. I love it. Boy, I'm worn out, and for good reason. And it was well worth getting worn out today to carry our message. Yeah, I could talk about Pablo until probably until I just fell over. Until there are no more children being diagnosed with cancer. So tonight, Joanne directed me to a very specific dedication point. This one brings us full circle on the Pablove Across America nightly dedication. A woman named Rhonda Costa saw the nightly dedication on day 16, which was 2 days ago. And she wrote a comment on the Facebook posting of that video blog. And I'm going to read it to you. I'm going to look over at that part of the screen and read you her words. We don't know Rhonda. I don't know where she's from. I clicked on her name on Facebook, but her profile is blocked. So in the coming days, when Rhonda fills us in on that information, I'll tell you. But for now, I'll read you what she wrote us. She says, "Thank you for all that you are doing to find a cure for this horrible disease. My daughter Danielle was diagnosed with Wilm's at the age of 9 months and battled for 19 months, earning her wings on April 1, 2008, at the age of 2.5. She wrote that 11 hours ago. I'm very clear on why we're doing what we're doing out here. I'm very clear on our objectives and our mission with the Pablove Foundation. I'm very clear with my personal mission. And Rhonda's comment on our Pablove Facebook page hits all three of those things for me. We are here to be a voice for people who have been beat down by this disease called cancer. We're here to stand next to people who are flying a flag, as well as people who have no interest in flying a flag but who've been touched by this disease. Rhonda did something to our hearts today, especially to Joanne's. And we're grateful for Rhonda to have the courage to put a comment on a public Facebook page, to stand up and be counted and talk about her daughter, Danielle, who passed away at 2.5 years old because of this senseless, unfair disease. So tonight, we will close our eyes and open our hearts to Danielle. And tomorrow, when we wake up and do our 2 bike rides here in Austin, we'll carry Danielle with us as well. So, good night from Joanne and I, and all of the Pablove Across America crew, and all of the Pablove and Dangerbird crew in Los Angeles. We're grateful for your eyeballs. We're grateful for your hearts. And we'll see you in the morning. Good night.